Well, just imagine living in a shack with no kitchen, shower, toilet, or even running water. Global poverty, of course, is very real, and KRON 4's Alicia Reed made a recent trip to Ethiopia to help build homes and sanitation pits with Habitat for Humanity's Global Village. And she documented it all on her cell phone so she could share her experience with us. And Alicia, explain to us just a little bit, if you can, of what it was like being in Ethiopia for 2 weeks.
Well, imagine your parents, your parents, your children, your grandchildren, none of them ever having a toilet, using a toilet in their entire lives, but instead taking a plastic bag and going into a corner or going outside of their shack and using it. Those are the insane sanitary conditions that I got a chance to see while I was visiting Deborah Burhan. It's a village in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I put on some gloves and work boots and I got to work with my teammates that came from all over the United States. We constructed communal toilets with a total of 12 sanitation pits. We set the foundation for a Chica home and painted another house for a family that was about to move in. Celebrating your first home can be exciting. Yeshia Reglima and Haley Tekel Michael have been waiting for what seemed like a lifetime for this day. But before all this celebrating, the couple, like Anaska and his family, had to put in sweat equity alongside volunteers. Soon, Anaska will also have a home.
Thank you very much.
I'm very, very happy.
I'm happy.
To qualify for a Habitat for Humanity home, each family makes a maximum of $25 per month, or $6 a week. However small their mortgage, there's a payment plan. But there are people below that poverty scale who can't afford a bill, but are in desperate need of help. That's where these communal pit toilets come in. Many of these people have never used a toilet. Instead, they use plastic bags. So as you walk around, you'll see plastic bags littered everywhere. This is not by choice. They have no other option. Some people go an extra step and burn their feces like trash. Or
this is the toilet that, most of these families, if not all, are using for the last many years.
A pit that has no privacy.
It's really a question of pride, a question of humanity, not to have a bathroom.
35-year-old Ayiche and her 4 children live in a tiny shack with no kitchen or sanitation. Every day she came out to the site to help build.
በጣም ደስተኛ ነኝ ተደስቻለሁ አሁን በየበለጠ በላይ ጠዳ ብለን እንኖራለን ብለን እንደሰታለን
These 6 toilets will serve 14 families with about 5 people in each. That's nearly 70 individuals. Now, that may sound extreme to you and me, but for the people here, they can't wait for them to be completed.
Imagine living in a situation where you don't have toilet for decades, and how big that change is for these families, that they are so proud.
Although our hard work building houses and sanitation pits only made a fraction of a difference, my Global Village team and I felt accomplished.
It's really helped give more purpose to my life.
What I take for granted, I learn to give back and share. And then ultimately, I end up gaining a lot more from the families and the experience than I think that I give.
Despite all the challenges that people face around here, they're so welcoming and smiling all the time and just very engaged with us, and that makes it all worthwhile.
Wow. Well, this is the Ethiopia, of course, that tourists don't see, and the level of poverty is just so striking there.
Absolutely. For example, let me show you. Let's say this is global poverty. This small dot is the work that Habitat for Humanity Global Village does in the terms of global poverty.
A drop in the ocean, so to speak.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important for advocacy and for people to get involved, because there's so much work that needs to be done. So it doesn't matter how much we do, there'll always be more that needs to be done.
And it's the small victories that you can walk away with, because if you look at it as an entire piece of paper, it looks overwhelming. But if you look at it as a small dot, it's something that I can do. What motivated you to take this trip?
Well, I already do Habitat for Humanity here in San Francisco. It's one of the organizations I volunteer with, and I decided I wanted to do more. I wanted to do it on a bigger scale, and so I did some research and ended up in Ethiopia.
Any plans to go again, someplace else, perhaps?
Well, to put it into perspective, the majority of the people on my team did a number of builds already. And so although this was my first build, there was one guy in particular, his name was Monty. This was his 15th build. Wow. His 15th. Can you imagine? That's the kind of impact it has on you once you're there.
Of course.
And so to answer your question, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no stopping now.
Glad to
So
hear
much
it.
work.
Welcome back, and thanks so much for bringing that story to us.
Absolutely.
We'll
Thank
be
you.
right back.